All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Hunter. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we are down at the Coachman Sneak Peek event where you get to see some of the newest floor plans, and this one really caught my eye. If you guys have been watching my channel, you know that we have 4 kids running around at home, and finding an RV is pretty darn hard. And recently, I've been trying to show more bunk model travel trailers because that's probably what is more in our budget and more kind of in our range, just in the style of life that we are in. However, this is kind of that tweener for the people that don't know if they want a big old fifth wheel, but they want something a little bit larger than a travel trailer. It's one of the most interesting floor plans that I have seen in the last couple days. And trust me, I've been going through hundreds of brand new models. It's the 2026 Chaparral 218 SE. And what makes it so interesting is it's under 30 feet. So it's 28 feet long, under 30 feet, but it's also only 7,100 pounds. So they're saying it's actually a half-ton towable fifth wheel. Now, you guys know how I feel about the term half-ton towable fifth wheel. I'll definitely have to check in on that because typically, you know, they just are not. But we'll have to check out like hitch weight and all that kind of good stuff. So make sure you do your due diligence on that. But either way, the floor plan is absolutely incredible. I think you guys are going to like it. Since this is brand spanking new, I'll try to get some access to pricing as soon as I possibly can. But in the meantime, I'm going to put a link for Funtown RV where you can at least call them and discuss possibly when one might be on order, if it already is, if it's in stock, yada, yada, yada. But I'll also put the specifications back there as well. So 2026, you're going to see a couple changes, but I'm sure there's some more on the way. So, you know, again, make sure to double check your options. But this is what I'm talking about. You got a really nice functional living room for the size of the RV, because in the top and the upper deck, you know, it's not a bedroom, it's not a living room, it's the bunk room. So it's for the kiddos, which I think is pretty darn neat. It's a unique twist to an RV this size. There was a Puma fifth wheel that had the bed up here that I thought worked, but I was like, man, as an adult, I don't want to get up in the upper deck. And it's nice to force the kids up there. One, they're shorter, and two, they think Hot Pockets are delicious. So they're going to be perfectly fine up here. You're also going to see you have plenty of storage. Well, not plenty of storage. There's a lot of good storage. You have, you know, 3 different pull-out drawers, and then you got a place where they can stuff, you know, all their extra clothing. You even got a place where maybe you can put away some like video games or something like that, and the TV. Now, one thing that I do know that they're adding is going to be a little flip-up step, because that first step is mighty high, especially for, you know, little peg legs like on my 3-year-old. She'd have a fun time doing that, but as a parent, I'd be a little nervous without a step there. So you'll be seeing that coming here soon. This you can pull out and move away for more of a bench style, kind of movie style seating, as I would call it. You also have the JBL soundbar, your TV, and then your slide out over here. Now I'll come back and open the rest of this up here in a second, but I want to show you this back area because it's actually pretty cool. I recently did a Leprechaun video down at Funtown RV in Cleburne, Texas, at their Superstore, the place with the 4 indoor showrooms. And the Leprechaun that I recorded was a motorhome, a Class C. It's almost the exact same setup, which is funny because they're also made by Coachman. So they took a motorhome finish where you have the kitchen on this back wall, and then you have kind of these like clips, but then you have the bathroom and the bedroom there. So pretty darn cool to kind of merge the two and put it into a shorter fifth wheel, because they're not necessarily building a new segment, but there's not too many, no storage there. It's interesting to see why it flips up because of the slide. Okay, that's why it does it. It's interesting to see how the two are merging into a really nice fifth wheel. This is something that I personally, you know, could probably purchase. You have a window that opens here, window that opens there, some overhead shelving, maybe for like your phones and whatnot there at night, or your wife's plants, depending on how you got it. Emergency exit, pull, push, and plop. TV backer here, along with the control for your AC. And I believe one comes standard, but there's 2 on this, so you'll want to make sure. In this size RV, depending on where you live, 1 might be just fine. But I would still put the 2 on personally. You have a, let's see here, porcelain foot flush throne. You also have a little bit of the tub there too, which is going to be nice for the little ones. Head height's going to be no problem. I mean, heck, you're at about 6'8" or so too, which is pretty cool. And then you got a little friendly neighbor window, so maybe you got a cute neighbor, you're showering, you want to, oh, hello. Right here, you got a mirror. Check out the old bowling gun, baby. And then bada bing, bada boom. The tankless on-demand hot water heater. So that way, you know, you can take pretty quick showers as long as you have propane. And now we're back up into the kitchen. Doing the tour Just a little bit different today. But you know, it's 100 degrees and I'm showing a bunch of RVs. So I'm allowed to get a little crazy. I can get a little crazy if I want to. Okay, so you got your control panel just inside the door. And then you're going to see we're back over to the kitchen. Now, if you're not going to be using the bedroom for a while, you got the flip-up counter here that you can push up for extra countertop space, since there isn't a ton if you don't have the cover for the sink. So I love to see it. They're kind of thoughtful in that. You're also going to get the square-style stainless steel undermounted bowl with the high-rise faucet, whoosh, 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 hitting those dishes from all angles. You're also going to have the hard wrap plastic there. So babe, if you're watching, I love you. The 3-top burner to whip up all the fixins. And then right there, baby, you got yourself a little microwave with the potato and the frozen vegetable mode. Light, fan, action, storage. You're also going to see you have another control right there for your AC. You flip it around. No, not flip it around yet. You got storage under here. You flip it around and you got a little bit of countertop space. Perfect place to put all your 2026 Coachman brochures. And then you also have, you know, your 4 pull-out drawers with a little bit of open space. Maybe if you got like a cat or something, be a good place to put it in there. Josh,
what's up?
Give him a flex, baby.
Yeah, dude, this is.
Oh. See you, bud. So then right here you got the black glass insert, which is nice. Nice little added touch. A little bit of extra pinkies up, baby. And then the theater seating, as well as this. I already kind of showed that. 10.7 12-volt refrigerator here as well, with the dual swing. So if you want to get beers while you're sitting down, or apple juices, sorry kiddos, if you want to get apple juices while you're sitting down, or apple juices while you're cooking up, you know, you are ready to go. It's also the same thing with the freezer too, which is interesting. Usually these dual swings just open from the top, so that's a pretty cool little change. But I think, although it's quick, I think that's about a wrap. I mean, new for 2026, so they're going to be putting some changes. Some changes will come in, some changes will scrap out. Maybe drop some feedback on what you would like to see, and you know, we'll see what the final product might become. So right here, you got your gateway, so you can hook up some Wi-Fi when you're down at the campground if that's something that you would like to do. And then coming back around the outside, I'll show you what she's like. Probably spend about 2-3 minutes here. Get done with a pretty quick tour here for the day. You got your electric leveling, molded fiberglass front cap, fiberglass siding with the aluminum frame construction. You're also going to see you have the lights here on the side, but also up on the front. Radiant barrier, Radiant Pro barrier, 97% UV reflective. Huh. I don't know what that is, but that's interesting. Little storage, you got your disconnect. You're also going to get 200 watts of solar panel up top. That's going to be your 30 amp solar charge controller, along with a place for your battery. You also have the side camera preps as well. So you'll have the side camera prep on this side, that side, and then on the back side, so you can see 360 around you if you don't want to white knuckle it up, you know, when you're driving down the road, if you're a little bit new. But since this is a pretty small one, this will be a pretty manageable one to kind of learn how to get into towing a fifth wheel, I would say. You know, some of the times when I hear people buy their first time buying a fifth wheel, they have this 44-foot Goliath. I'm always like, oof, man. but something like this would be pretty darn easy. The dual axle, the flip upstairs into that. I forgot to point out too, you got your fuse box right as you're coming in. So if you're the neighbor, you could pop that open, shut it down. Be kind of a funny little campground prank. But you also have your bada bing and bada boom, your door there. It's also a friction hinge. And then you got the Asdale construction as well. So that's going to be, yeah, like right there, it won't mildew, rot, or mold. So it's a composite material that's basically impervious to soaking up water. So in turn, it's going to give you a little bit less headaches in the course of an uh-oh moment. And that's going to be interior and exterior. So typically they don't do it, you know, on both sides of the wall. It's usually on one side or the other. So it's nice to know that they did that, especially in a unit that's going to be a little bit more price point conscious, because this is going to come in at an unreal price. I was kind of talking to them about it a little bit. I don't ever share the pricing here online because, as we know, we live in a crazy world and I don't want to mislead anybody. But the pricing on this, I truly think this will become one of the best-selling bunk models in the entire RV industry. And I've usually got a pretty good, you know, thumb on there. JBL speakers here on the exterior. with your awning. Again, the LED light, since there's no slides on this side, you get a lot of good coverage, you know, for like cornhole and picnic tables. You know, you're cracking some brewskis, you're having a good time, you know, you're ready to rock, all because the slides are on the other side. 2-inch receiver right here with a ladder with a 250-pound weight capacity, so you can get on top of your fully walkable roof, you know, check your seals, check your slides. Furrion S-Vision is going to be the prep there for the exterior. And then you got some storage, but it looks like it's locked, judging by the fact that it's got the tape still over it. But you got your dump valve here, and then your electric leveling right there, the control for that. You are eligible to put a slide topper on if you would like. So it's a piece of awning that goes from here to here, prevents debris from falling on top of the unit. You know, you are good to go. Your drain outlet should be located, yeah, right there. And then let's see if this is unlocked. Bada bing, bada boom, guys. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. Hope to catch you next time. Again, my name is Hunter. This is the 2026 Chaparral 218 SE. Have a great day. See you.